Okay, welcome back to the Car Boutique's detailing channel. His name's Carl.
And his name's Andy.
We got it right for once. Okay, carrying on our series of ceramic coatings. Today we are looking at Diamond ProTech Diamond Body 36. Okay, so this one's a bit different. It is labelled as a nano diamond coating, not a ceramic coating, but more will become apparent. We've got a nice Vauxhall Corsa, which you've teed up for this one.
Yeah, so it's a friend I work with, his wife's car, so asked for our expertise to detail this car, so I said, of course.
Excellent. Okay, all about giving yourself toffee, Carl. Well done, well done. So it's a lovely shade of blue, so we're going to give it a good clean, do all the good stuff, bring it inside, and that's where we're going to do your survey. Carl does a survey in terms of what paint correction, paint enhancement we need, and then we'll get on to testing this. Neither of us have used this before, and this coating, looking at instructions, is slightly different to the norm, so hopefully you will find it interesting. Okay, so that is the wash and decon done using an array of products. We will list all the products we've used in this video review in the video comments. So, Carl, you've spent a long time doing this survey and you haven't talked to me yet, so you looked a bit intrigued and you made a phone call, but I'll let you explain. So, paint survey.
Right, so I went round. First thing I did was I checked the depth of the paint, which is why I had to go and make a phone call. Because when I was coming down, when I looked at the bonnet and I was going down the driver's side, I was seeing around about anything from 300 to 450 microns of paint.
450?
Which sort of gave me an indication that there may have been a potential respray of those panels.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at the roof and I looked down the left-hand side, we were playing with around about 90 to around about 130 microns.
Which is the norm for most cars, isn't it?
Which is norm for original paint.
Yeah.
So I did go and make a phone call. Unfortunately, the owners are unaware of any respray or potential previous damage to that car, so they're going to do some digging for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we carried on.
We're not too concerned though, because if we've got 450 microns, we've got plenty to play with, and we're not going to be going anywhere near that. We're going to be shaving a micron or two off if the most. But okay, in terms of paint correction, what have we got ahead of us?
So I think it's probably more going to be an enhancement.
Okay.
It's a large portion of it is swirls. There is some scratches there. There is some actual paintwork damage, so chips into the paintwork, which we can't do anything about.
No.
So it's going to be probably attacking it with a medium compound and a medium pad and getting the paint up to the best that we can with what we've got.
Okay, so that's paint correction done. Busy day in the office today. Marcus is doing a single stage correction and testing a new wax. The results will be on the Car Boutique Facebook group shortly. And the car is looking amazing. So head of paint correction enhancement, how do we get on, Carl?
So there was, as we said right at the beginning, there was a lot of swirls, some deeper scratches along the paintwork. However, it's turned out massively beyond our expectations. All the swirls are gone. Majority of the scratches are gone now. We've got chips and all that in the paintwork, so we couldn't get rid of that. However, paintwork, as you can all see, looks absolutely brilliant. So I'm looking forward to putting the ceramic on it. So
this one was rewarding because you can see the sort of the gloss coming, and as we know, paint correction is where you get the gloss, and it was quite rewarding, but took us quite a few hours, didn't it?
So it took us about nearly 5 hours.
5 hours. We're terrible. We're terrible. Chasing perfection. That's our problem.
It was, but it was a weird paint, as I said right at the beginning. So the side that was, I would say, probably manufactured paint was certainly a bit harder. The side that was had the thicker paint, I would say, was probably a softer paint. So we did have to vary pressures and a bit of compound and pads to rely on that. So it was a difficult paint, but very rewarding. And this colour, once you polish it out, is stunning,
lovely, isn't it? And we've come to the conclusion this has either had horrific paint job at some point, or it's come out of the factory with poor quality control, because the differential between, what was it, just over 100 microns, and was it 400? I mean, that's ridiculous.
I think it's high, so we had about 450.
Yeah, more to play with.
More to play with, you can work on that. But I'd certainly say I'd err on the side of it's probably had a respray more than it was manufacturer error.
Possibly. Right, okay, so the reason why everyone clicked on the thumbnail, they want to know about this ceramic. It's not a ceramic, this coating. So we'll reset the camera. Okay, on to the juicy bit. The reason why you clicked the thumbnail, you want to know all about nano diamond coating Diamond Body 36. Now, I alluded to at the start, we've been very careful with our terminology. This is not sold as a ceramic coating per se. It's a vehicle coating, but not ceramic. And it mentions these things like diamonds. Able assistant, if you'd like to hold the product. So I'm going to read off the actual Diamond ProTech's information. Now, Diamond ProTech coatings are not ceramic coatings.
Well, we have mentioned that so far.
We have, haven't we? We have created, or they have created, nano diamond and polymer composites that outperform today's ceramic coatings. Big claim. In the ways that make this a breakthrough technology, and it's the first one we've used that mentions diamond.
Yeah, and it's the first one we used that isn't ceramic. Exactly.
So is this where it was ceramic coating? Everyone started talking about graphene as the next, the new kid on the block that waits to be seen, because we haven't even tried it yet.
No.
But interesting. So patent technology has revolutionised the way the world's hardest inorganic polymer, which is perhydropolysilane. How to say it? Perhydropolysilane, PHPS, is used, and they've invented a breakthrough method to merge a matrix of enriched nano diamonds. So does that mean it's got diamonds in? It must do.
If it does, I'm taking it.
Tiny little ones, with inorganic PHPS to create flexible coating appropriate cars. Now, did a bit of research on the actual company, and they used to do, or they still do coatings, or their evolution comes from aviation coatings and all that kind of stuff. So they've actually taken that technology, and now they are, for the last few years, have been offering coatings for cars. It's so hard to say a coating without putting ceramic for it. Now, we bought ours from Inter Detailing. It retails for around about £60, so you should be paying anything between 55 and 60. It comes as a standalone product, or you can get kits with all that kind of stuff as well. So the actual claims in terms of the benefits, 3 years of hydrophobic protection. Now, we're going to double coat it. All right, so with a correct maintenance program, etc., 3 years protection. They do a topper, which we might use in the future. Effortless single layer application. All right, that waits to be seen, but we are going to double coat it if we got on all right. Diamond hard scratch resistance. Yeah, and offers a slick feeling, intense candy apple shine. It says you do not need to sort of have professional training for this. So really, we've left this to the end because this is the one we thought we'll do the ceramics, we'll do some home use one and some sort of indoor professional one. This one's a bit different because it's not a ceramic coating, it's a diamond nano coating
Yes.
with some technology that's used in other ceramic coatings as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
I think it will be interesting.
So interesting to see what the application removal's like, gloss enhancement and all that kind of stuff. And in terms of longevity, we're lucky we will be able to revisit this vehicle in a year. We've booked it in for a year. We'll do the maintenance washes and all that kind of stuff as well. So without further ado,
I think it's time for you to test.
I think it's time to play. Play with the diamonds. Ooh. Okay, so demo time. Now, if you buy the bottle on its own, all you get is a 30 millilitre bottle. But like I said, you can get packs where you get applicators and cloths and all that kind of stuff. Now, the first thing you'll realise when you get the bottle out is it sort of rattles. And what you've got, I think there are a couple of sort of glass pellets in it, and it just facilitates shaking it up. Okay, so you're really giving this a good shake, and you should with any chemical really, not just coatings. Give it a good shake for sort of 15-20 seconds, get all the chemicals mixed together so they perform the way they should. So nice shaker. It's got a child lock on. And we're going to be using one of these sort of pad, sort of microfiber, short sort of pile applicator pads. You can get some really big ones, but me and Carl both agree that we've sort of found that the smaller ones are really, really good, and they're sort of the similar size to the applicator box you get. Do you agree?
Absolutely, and it conforms to the panel as well, so which makes it really easy for application.
Absolutely, that's the main reason why, because when you go through a contour, like Carl says, it bends, the blocks are rigid, and you can sometimes miss bits. So, stereotypical application method. Now, the instructions do say use an applicator and put about 15 drops of this in, but what we're doing is we're just putting, like we always do, 2 straight lines. There's probably about 20 dots there, all right, and you're applying it like that. Put your cap back on your ceramic coating. I will be doing that straight after the demo because I got told off last time. I briefed everyone, you must put the cap on. Then I put it to the side and didn't put the cap on, but anyway. And then it is your north to south, east to west thing, all right? Now, on dark coloured paint, it's really, really easy to see. And the cure time of this, which will go on, and we'll talk about a bit later, is about 15 minutes. So you can do bigger panels. It's not one of these coatings whereby it's got, 15, 20 second flash time. So you're limited to that sort of 2x2. So you can do quite easily quite a big area. And I'm going to do the half of the bonnet. It's still wet, it's still wet. And that north to south. Applying the same pressure. And if you do see, especially on the first time you apply it to the pad, it goes dry, just stop, reload your applicator to saturate the microfiber pad a bit more. And it's as easy as that. Have a quick look. All right, make sure you've got no natural areas that you haven't done or any real high spots, just flatten them out, etc. Now, I did say that the flash time or the curing time is about 15 minutes, but that is relative to temperature and humidity. So we're going to turn the camera off, we're going to analyse what's happening, and then we'll turn the camera back on when it's time to remove, and we'll give you a bit more information as to what we witnessed as it actually cured. So we'll come back to you in anywhere between 0 and 15 minutes. Camera back on, about 9 minutes curing time, just over relative to our temperature and humidity. Now, top tip on this one, you really need to do a test panel, and you're going to see why. So after we applied it, various things happened, and Carl, jump in at any point, but what I saw was it was wet. There was a very, very subtle rainbow effect. Then there was the evolution of micro bubbles. As time went on, sort of 3 or 4 minutes, those micro bubbles got a bit bigger, and then it's a waiting game. And I had this feeling you've got to trust the coating. I was waiting for that hazing. Now, it does go slightly drier, and that's what I'm assessing as haze. It's not like a wax that hazes, and you see that smoky. But as soon as you see it go dry, which is subtle again, remove it, okay, and it's really, really easy, and I'm going to show you how easy it is now. Would that be a fair, is that what you experieed?
Absolutely. So the rainbow effect is really, really slight.
Yeah.
However, as time goes on, actually the microbeads increase, not just in size, but also the number of the bubbles as well. Yeah. So, and then it goes to that, like you said, that almost dry effect.
And we found straight in, and it's really, really, really easy, which is really, really good. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to remove, and it really couldn't be simpler. So That is perfectly leveled. Now I'm using I think it's a 300 or a 320 GSM closed sort of weave short nap microfiber for removal, and then a slightly plusher one just to do that final buff. Do not press hard, you're just leveling and removing sort of any excess. We've got no high spots. Obviously, we're going to go over with this inspection light shortly to check for high spots, but we did a test panel. There is no reason why you should ever leave high spots with this, because it removes levels, flattens so easy, and the final finish is really, really nice. But we're going to talk about our final feelings at the end. So, any final thoughts on removal?
No, like you said, easy.
Absolutely easy. So, really, really impressed with that. Okay, so we've applied the second coating. Now, the rule is between coatings, it's an hour. And the beauty of this is once the car's finished, whether you've done 1 or 2 coats, leave it an hour and the driver can take the car away. But it's still that 3 to 4 weeks with no sort of chemical washes, etc. So second coating is down. We have left this an hour. So according to the instructions, would you agree, Carl? We can apply some water to this, can't we? And do the hydrophobicity test. Come on, Andrew. Right then, so as we always do, we're going to take some photographs of the beads, and then we're going to do the runoff test as well. So my able assistant. So I will now take some photographs with the camera. Okay, so we've looked at the beads. Now, just on the beads, not the highest contact angles and not the best uniformity, but there is definitely hydrophobicity there. What are your thoughts?
Yes, there's definitely hydrophobicity there. Like Andy said, they are uniform, okay, but the contact angles are kind of flat.
Yeah. So
definitely not the best coating for beading that we've seen so far.
Yeah, but it could be a sheeter.
It could be.
It's all about the sheeting. Okay, so let's see if we can dry the vehicle. We'll do our little test again. So nice gentle pour, left to right. So that's quite good in terms of its sheeting.
Yeah.
But I think we've seen better sheeting, quicker sheeting from other ceramic coatings. Not that this is one, but ceramic coatings and better beading. Quite a big difference in some of the ones we've been using. But in terms of hydrophobicity, in terms of beads, it is leaving protection there, and it's more of a sheeter, okay, than a beader.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Are you impressed or not?
Hydrophobicity side, no.
Okay.
Let's be honest, not my favourite.
Yeah.
But I'll leave the rest for the summary.
Roger that. Okay, that's us all done with our review for Nano Diamond Coating Diamond Body 36. We've gone around, done some titillation, we've put some wheel wax on, tyre shine, Carl's gone around and done all the plastic trim. The finishing touches makes such a big difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. It just finishes that car off nicely.
It's like wearing a nice suit and having a rubbish pair of trainers. It doesn't look good, does it? Anyway, I might have to edit that out. YouTube might pick up my swearing. Oh, controversial. Okay, so summary time, make this brief. My turn to go first?
It is.
Okay, so enjoyed this because it's not a ceramic coating, it's a nano diamond coating. So I was always interested to see the difference, if anything. So stripping it right back, 30 mil for just under 60 quid, good. Okay, we've done coatings that have been over £100. So in terms of money, very competitive if it performs. Ease of application, can't really differentiate between any other ceramic coating. It was easy, okay, north, south, east, west, job done. The removal, however, was, like I said in the video, the easiest ceramic coating that I have removed. It is on a par with those waxes where you just wipe off, gone. Inspection light, always go over, no high spots. I can't really see it unless you really, really miss something, you're going to get a high spot with this. Absolutely brilliant. In terms of aesthetic enhancement, my personal opinion is, and we sometimes disagree with this, so it'll be interesting to hear what you think, Carl, deepens the colour, and I can see why they refer to it as a candy apple caramel sort of. It gives a nice sort of glow, almost on akin with a nice Knorr wax actually, which was good for me because I love my waxes. So definite enhancement in aesthetics. Bearing in mind we did do a lot of machine polishing as well, so it's a combination of the two. Hydrophobicity. Not the best in terms of beading. Sheeting was pretty good, not the best. So it's not, if you're looking for that gratification from super tall contact angles, uniformity of beads, it is not the best. But I'll be interesting to see once this fully hardens over the next few weeks whether that hydrophobicity comes to fruition, and we will get the owner when it rains to send us some photographs. It might just be one of them ones that doesn't sort of go super hydrophobic until it's fully hardened, but it waits to be seen. We put 2 coats on. Interesting to see about the 36-month longevity claim. We'll get the car back for maintenance washes and we will return for a full review in a year. And what was the other thing that we had discussion on? There was longevity. I can't remember what the other one was. There was something we were discussing, wasn't there? But I can't remember.
Oh, it was the maintenance. What's that?
Oh yeah, the maintenance. Not much information on that. So if the company are watching this, some maintenance advice would be good. Is it coating that clogs up like ceramic coatings, and you have to use acidic stuff and all that kind of stuff? So if anyone's watching or has used this, some advice on that would be grateful. So if you're watching this video, go and have a look in the comments because you can pick up some additional tips. We had a quick look on the website. There was nothing there that we could see. So we'll come back to the question, would we buy it again at the end? Carlos, we always do that, don't we? It's like you have to hold it to give a critique.
So, do you know what? I'm going to be boring.
Go on then.
Okay, because I'm going to agree with everything you said.
Well,
in regards to ease of application, ease of removal, the colour, and I do really enjoy what it's done with the paintwork there. The hydrophobicity, absolutely, it's not the best that we've dealt with a coating, but it's there.
It's going to be self-cleaning, isn't
exactly.
it? Just not as visual as others.
It will be interesting to see what the maintenance cycle is, what it is. So, yeah. However, obviously, what we found out from their instruction video is that you're not to wash this for anything from 3 to 4 weeks after your application.
Chemical wash.
Chemical wash, yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm on par with you on this one.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it because it was something different. It wasn't just another coating. It was, because we hadn't used a sort of nano diamond product before, it was interesting. So we were constantly, I wonder what's going to happen, which makes our job as not professional detailers. Okay, we are enthusiasts. We do YouTube reviews. Yeah. Interesting. So the question is, would you buy it again?
Knowing my top 2 at the moment, no.
Okay.
But there is reason that I think I'd like to see it in a couple of weeks' time and see if once it's hardened, if that hydrophobicity improves. Because some of the others we've used, the hydrophobicity was really good. I enjoyed the application very much like this. I just think they were better. But it's not saying this is a bad. So if the hydrophobicity was excellent, like some others, would you be saying yes? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see, like I say, in a couple of weeks, whether your mind changes on that. Exactly.
And like I say, some people do want that gratification of beads and sheeting. Would I buy it again? Yes. But I agree with you on the hydrophobicity, because that to me is an indicator that the product is there and still performing. So it'd be interesting, but at the moment I'll say yes. So the question is, do we think this is a beginner's coating? I think it's an adult coating, and my top tip, if you have got previous experience with ceramic coatings or any other kind of coating, it's going to be of benefit to you. What I would do, and I'm sure you'll agree, do a test panel. Okay, do a piece, all right? Time it for it to go through that rainbow, the micro bubbles, to when it starts to haze. Record that time and apply that timing to all your other panels, all right? And that is the top tip. So don't sort of do one panel, judge it, weight it. Get onto a second panel, a third panel, come back to it, use that timing, but do a test at the start, because that's what we did, didn't we?
Absolutely.
And then we just applied that 9 minute, 5 seconds or whatever to every single panel, and it came off effortless. You did leave it on a pillar for 15 minutes plus, and it still came off.
Yep.
And I did try and remove it after a couple of minutes, and it came off quite easily. It wasn't smeary like some. So in terms of no professional training, I agree. Could a beginner use this? Yes, with the tips that I've done.
Yeah.
But if you've got experience, it's definitely a benefit.
Yeah, like you said, beginners you could, because of ease of application, ease of removal. But as Andy said, that test panel is key to how you see this cure.
Now, if you want the feedback in a couple of weeks when the owner gets back, once it's fully hardened, go over to our Facebook group, because we'll post some kind of update there. But we will return in 12 months with a 12-month update for this coating to see how it goes on. So we are really, really happy with this.
Yes, I am.
The owner's come down shortly. We're going to take it outside, give you a spin round, show you before and after. And I think with the combination of the coating and the machine polishing, this has come up really, really well.
I'm really, really happy with that.
Is it worth a fist pump?
I think it might be.
Good times. Excellent. Laters.